Why you don't attract what you want? You generate what you are. You are not waiting. You are creating. There is a quiet assumption embedded in modern spiritual language that has shaped millions of lives without ever being questioned. It is the assumption hidden inside the phrase law of attraction. At first glance, the phrase seems empowering. It suggests that you have influence over your circumstances, that your thoughts and emotions matter. But beneath the surface lies a subtle implication that has quietly programmed a generation into misunderstanding their own nature. Attraction implies separation. It implies that what you desire exists somewhere outside of you, suspended in a distant warehouse of the universe. It implies that you are here, empty-handed, and what you want is there, withheld. It implies distance, lack, and pursuit. And when you internalize that implication, you begin to live as if you are incomplete. This book begins with a bold assertion. You have been misled, not by intention, but by language. You're not a magnet dragging metal filings across the dirt of the cosmos. You're not an empty vessel trying to fill yourself with external goods. You are not a beggar knocking on the door of a generous but selective universe. You are a creative center. The distinction is not poetic. It is structural. It changes everything. When you believe you must attract what you want, you unconsciously reinforce the idea that you do not already possess the source of it. You yearn, you hope, you visualize. You attempt to generate enough emotional intensity to pull something toward you. But yearning is the vibration of absence. Hoping is the language of delay. Striving is the psychology of insufficiency. And insufficiency reproduces itself. Many people who practice attraction techniques experience a quiet frustration they rarely articulate. They affirm abundance while feeling lack. They visualize success while fearing failure. They attempt to override doubt with forced positivity. When results do not materialize, they assume they did it wrong. The blame turns inward. The pressure increases. The cycle continues. What if the issue is not your effort but the premise itself? What if you do not attract what you want because wanting is not the creative mechanism? What if the universe does not respond to desire but to identity? This book proposes a different framework, one rooted in an older understanding of consciousness that predates modern self-help language. There was a time when spiritual philosophy did not describe humans as magnets, but as expressions of an infinite creative principle. Teachers within the New Thought movement understood that consciousness is not a tool for acquiring external objects. It is the organizing intelligence of experience itself. Among them, Ernest Holmes articulated a powerful truth. Mind is causative. Life unfolds according to the structure of consciousness, not the intensity of longing. To say you are the creative power is not metaphor. It is a shift from transactional spirituality to generative spirituality. A magnet pulls what already exists. A generator produces. A magnet depends on what is outside of it. A generator operates from within. If you believe you must attract wealth, you subtly reinforce that wealth is separate from you. If you believe you must attract love, you reinforce that love is absent. If you believe you must attract opportunity, you assume it is withheld. But if you recognize yourself as a creative center, the entire dynamic changes. You no longer chase outcomes. You organize states of being. Reality does not behave like a marketplace responding to emotional bids. It behaves more like a mirror responding to structure. This book will explore a radical but liberating proposition. You do not experience what you want. You experience what you are structured to generate. Your thoughts are not wishes. They are blueprints. Your emotions are not signals to the universe. They are the magnetic cohesion that binds structure into form. Your actions are not attempts to get. They are expressions of stabilized identity. When thought, emotion, and identity align coherently, life reorganizes around that coherence. The shift from attraction to generation moves you from poverty to power. Poverty is not merely financial. It is the belief that supply exists outside the self. Power is not domination. It is the recognition that supply flows from alignment. Consider how different life feels when you stop asking, "How do I get this?" and begin asking, "Who must I become for this to be natural?" The first question reinforces separation. The second reorganizes identity. You cannot attract what contradicts who you believe yourself to be. But you cannot help generating what aligns with your internal structure. The world you experience is filtered through perception, organized by belief, stabilized by emotion, and enacted through behavior. These are not passive processes. They are creative acts. Even in moments when you feel powerless, you are structuring experience, just not consciously. This realization can be unsettling. It removes the comfort of blaming fate, luck, or cosmic timing. But it also restores authority. If you are the creative center, then transformation does not require permission. It requires coherence. Throughout this book, we will dismantle the language of lack and replace it with the language of expression. We will examine how identity precedes outcome, how coherence organizes circumstances, and why striving often delays what embodiment accelerates. We will explore the biological and psychological dimensions of creative power, bridging spirituality and science without reducing either. You will not be asked to suppress desire. You will be invited to understand it differently. Desire is not a plea. It is a pointer. It reveals the direction of expansion. But expansion does not occur through grasping. It occurs through becoming. This is not about controlling the universe. It is about recognizing that you are not separate from the intelligence that animates it. You are not standing outside reality trying to manipulate it. You are participating in its unfolding through the structure of your consciousness. When you shift from attraction to generation, anxiety dissolves. You no longer wonder if the universe heard you. You no longer attempt to manufacture feelings to trigger cosmic responses. You cultivate internal alignment, and life reflects it naturally. The difference is subtle in language but immense in experience. One path produces effort. The other produces embodiment. One produces tension. The other produces authority. One leaves you waiting. The other places you at the center. You are not here to beg existence for fragments of possibility. You are here as an expression of creative intelligence itself. You are not empty.